Yeah, hey, unreal. We got something to work by Friday. We got it in. The actual intro. I don't know what kind of music backing, Matt. Music backing for the intro. Finally. Happy Friday, Matt. It's
Hey Bob, I like your hat.
flying.
I like that hat a lot, and you need to
Pigs
give me
fly.
Yeah.
When pigs fly, pigs are on the moon, hogs are on the moon. That doesn't look like it's going to change much. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, Matt. Coming out of the box, though, I saw you shared this, and I thought this was perfect. A perfect representation of what's going on in the world. Former President Gerald Ford, who died in 2006, receives COVID vaccine because he's in the high-risk group. CNN with 3 people watching now, trying anything to stir their ratings. It's unreal.
And by the way, have you not seen Bean there yet? Because Gerald Ford reminds me of the president in Bean.
Gerald Ford could buy and sell the current president in anything. Name it. Boxing. He's by the way, I know why Matt's cheering the guy on. He's a Michigan alum. Go Blue.
All-American too, by the way.
An All-American footballer. Yes?
Yes.
Footballer.
All-American guard.
Where's the ball, Matt? Where's the ball? Michigan, University of Chicago. Come on, everybody. Check this out. Michigan, University of Chicago game ball. What year?
1892.
He's holding the ball. That was
Lost the laces.
1892 football. Michigan Go Blue against the what are the University of Chicago? I played against them.
Check this out. Bob, check this out. It's got cleat marks even on it.
That's unreal. That is unreal. I played against University of Chicago. It's one of my college wins that I not.
This was before passing was part of the game. Because look at this thing.
Exactly. It's more of a rugby football.
Right.
Anyway, Matt, tell me about.
By the way, Michigan won that game 18-10, and these were the powers back then.
University of Chicago, the Maroons, I think.
Sounds right. I don't know.
Maroons. Yeah, the Grinnell Pioneers. We played them in 1981 and shellacked them.
I think that's an old Mel Blanc skit. Did you call me a maroon? No, I called
yeah. Matt, tell me about what they're doing in California to incentivize vaccines.
So Governor Newsom announced yesterday, I'm not sure exactly when, but he announced that 115 million will go to the lucky winners of the draw after getting jabbed. So they're throwing away 115 million just to jab you.
It's unreal. What a marketing campaign.
But if you're a voter, how does that make you feel? Because
what, Matt? We talked briefly about
Bob, a simple blood pressure medicine also will save probably literally millions of lives in freaking California alone with the traffic in that state. So why doesn't he spend that money making sure that people take their blood pressure medicine?
Well, I'm for a lot of things here. How about we join the lottery? If you don't eat at a fast food restaurant for a year, you get to join the lottery.
Maybe give up cigarettes.
Let's do the cigarette lottery.
Booze.
Well, don't get crazy on me now. The give up booze lottery. Hard no. Matt, it's Memorial Day weekend, and as tradition has for a long time, we got the 500.
Well, hold on. Before you go to the Indy, one of my favorite events is this weekend too.
Which is
the Memorial PGA tournament.
Is that Nicklaus's tournament?
That's at the Memorial in Columbus. And if you've ever had the chance to play that course, it's next week, but they always start it like the Monday on, the tournament starts, the practice and everything starts on Monday. So the actual tournament is next weekend. But dude, that course, and by the way, they create tees for the Memorial Tournament in Dublin, Ohio that don't exist for the members, for these guys. And they'll still end up finishing minus 20. And Bob, it's one of the hardest courses I've ever played.
Matt, I'd love to share the Indy starting lineup, but as per for par, my sharing capabilities are limited.
Talk to the producer.
All right, Matt. We had a little conversation yesterday, and here's the starting lineup. And I had to scroll down pretty far. Actually, I take that back. I've heard of Helio Castronovis. Two things struck me at this, Matt. First of all, only two manufacturers are represented, as far as I can tell: Chevy and Honda. Nobody else gives a flying about the Indy Racing League.
How
These
about the
cars
quality?
look unreal. They look like rocket ships.
Bob, I remember as a kid watching the Indy 500, and I remember the day. I don't know if it was Cale Yarborough or who it was, but the guy who first broke the 200 qualifying speed, and now these mothers are you kidding me? 231 miles an hour for a lap? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's crazy. We talked yesterday. I the whole paddle steering thing it gets under my skin here. I think it's much more challenging to drive a race car at 230 miles an hour with one hand on the wheel because the other's on the stick shift and your feet are going. Yeah. I'd love to hear what Longplex has to say, his thoughts on paddle shifting and how it's changed the sport. Because I know he's an avid F1 fan. I'm an avid FU fan, Matt. But back to the virus for a second here, just for 1 second. I just wanted to bring this back up. I rewatched this Zach Bush, this doc, internist, endocrinologist, hospice care, and a brilliant mind in the human anatomy. And Del Bigtree, what a great name. He should be a golfer, by the way, a professional golfer. Del Bigtree.
No, he should be a wrestler for sure.
He could be a wrestler, and
he comes out.
He's got more balls than John Cena right away. Right. Anyway, the thing that I found funny in this article or in this podcast was him saying if it was created in a lab, I believe they were talking about this back in 2020. He said if it was created in a lab, they're really shitty at it because the virus hasn't killed anybody. Not anybody, but there's a lot. It's not a very lethal virus.
Yeah,
they were going to create it for biowarfare. Whatever. Let's jump away from there and talk about. I know what else we got coming up this weekend. Sports.
Well, we do have. We
got the NCAA lacrosse. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the men's and women's. We'll just touch on the men's here today. Again, we've talked about it earlier in the week. These two, you got three ACC teams, and then you got Maryland, which used to be an ACC team, now in the Big Ten. So Maryland Duke, I'm going to go with Maryland, and Maryland has not played outside of the Big Ten until this tournament. So they had a game with Vermont and they had a game with Notre Dame, and they won them both. Notre Dame is not a slouch team at number 6. I'm going to go with Maryland. Both these teams are tough, but I think Maryland's offense beats Duke's offense in a close one. It'll be within 3 or 4 goals tops. North Carolina, Virginia, they've already played twice and they've split this year. And they both beat each other at the respective opposite teams' place. So I expect just a great game in that one. That's the morning game tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, so noon on the East Coast. But I'm going to go with the Tar Heels. So we're going to have the Tobacco Road final-ish, kind of Maryland versus NC.
Right on. And Maryland Duke would be the ultimate Tobacco Road rivalry, but.
Well, no, Duke, probably Duke, North Carolina would be, but.
Yeah. Whatever I said was wrong. Yeah. Whatever Matt said is right. Rinse, repeat.
But I do think the final game, Maryland, North Carolina, if it plays out the way I think Maryland will win. The defense, North Carolina is good. They got so is Virginia. I mean, this is going to be 2 great games that you don't want to miss if you are at all a lacrosse fan.
And if you're not a lacrosse fan, I always thought that if you weren't a fan of the sport, of any sport, watching the Final Four of anything to see the best that are.
I'm telling you, there's some athletes on this field that you won't see, and the way they move. I was telling you this yesterday. The way these kids can literally sprint full speed, see the whole field, deliver a ball right-handed, left-handed, both ways, right? deliver a ball that is harder than a baseball on a line on a pass, and then get drilled and toss it into the net. It's unbelievable. I mean,
Right on.
I mean, look at these scores, Bob. I mean, you had NC winning 12-11 in overtime to beat Rutgers to get here. You had Maryland 14-13. This isn't hockey, folks. Hockey's fun
You know
to
what
watch.
they need, Matt? I'll still. I know I said this before. They need like that bright neon pink, orange, or yellow ball.
Yeah, I think they do that. I think they've done it a few times in the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League, but college has not adopted it fully yet. You know, there's some tradition still. Like I don't like playing orange golf balls either. You do.
I love. I'll play them all.
I don't like
Play the colors
yellow.
of the
I don't like
Rainbow
yellow. I don't like
Coalition.
yellow. I don't like yellow, pink, and orange golf balls. I need
give it to me, baby.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, Matt. Let me just. You shared this, and this is in the friendly confines of Bend, Oregon, to show you the stratosphere and the absolute disjointed situation that we have from reality. This is a rental, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,700 square foot house. And you're telling me this address is actually a duplex.
Yes.
And they want $6,500 a month to rent it. Like, do you take cash deposit? Because if you need first, last, and security, I'll just bring over 20 grand in cash.
Yep.
And, I can move in. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. So the person moving into this place here in Little Bend, Oregon, is earning, he's got to be earning what, 30 grand gross for that to work on the not even, no, more. He's got to be making more than that, right? Yeah, 30 grand gets you 20%. That's 20% of his gross. So that person is, living large. There's a lot of those people living large.
The age of ridiculousness. Prices matter, Matt. Sooner or later they're going to be renting this thing for $1,200 a month. That's my guess.
They'll be praying.
I mean, the 10X would be $650 a month. I don't know if we get there, Matt.
I mean, Bob, or you could go down to La Jolla and grab a place down there on the beach, probably 1,500 feet for about $4,000 a month. Your choice. You can go.
I mean, how about it? La Jolla, I mean, lots of places in SoCal are cheaper than that.
Yeah.
Matt, you shared this, or I don't know if you did, but I found this Zero Hedge's Tyler Durden reporting that, and this was a giant story last summer. That the Three Gorges Dam, they thought it was bowing or bending and possibly going to collapse. And if it does, it's a catastrophic event beyond belief. The other thing that came out of last year was the amount of flooding, just in general, an incredible amount of crop loss. And again, it's impossible to get accurate numbers out of China. And so we know, though, that we have never seen them import as much grain as they've been importing, right?
Hey, Bob, that's racist to say that.
What's that?
That's racist to say that.
Yeah, okay. When I play in chess, I'm white. I'm a white supremacist also. So
you can't.
When I'm black, I'm black.
You can't tell me the Chinese don't tell the truth, Bob.
No, they don't. It's very difficult to get accurate information out of there. But Matt, what happens with information? Even if they don't let it out, it shows up where? Where's it show up, Matt? In prices.
In the pricing, Bob.
In pricing. Anyway, if 97 rivers are already exceeding warning levels, I mean, it's not painting a beautiful picture about their ability to grow grain again this year. So maybe that's what the stockpiling is all about. Like, they know right now that the situation is going to be dire.
And they're saying,
God forbid,
if the catastrophe plays out, they're saying 100 to 200 million people will die. Man, and to your point, crops and fields and everything's going to be wiped out. So it would be awful. I mean, it sure would be awful. Can't imagine that type of power and the three dams. But more importantly, what does it do to the Bitcoin that's being mined down there at the base of the dams?
Well, I don't think, if it makes everybody else more able to mine Bitcoin. I don't think there's going to be a lack of capacity to mine. if you want to jump to Bitcoin, I mean, we've been talking about it, Matt.
Well,
We've talked about it now for weeks, right? That this chart is broken.
Yeah.
And the great Bitcoin maximalists have, been trying to say, no, this is just a dip to buy. And we've said, and both of us on and on, that like the last 3 times that the chart broke, it lasted 9-10 months, sometimes longer, 14 months on a downward to sideways trajectory. And the way this thing, it's not acting healthy, man. It cannot hold 40,000. It couldn't even sniff the momentum level on the weekly, right, which was 45,000. I know you on the profile have a similar.
This week, I mean, I had 3 good trades this week about, selling 40,000. You don't even know, just use the round number bingo, top, took a little heat, $200, whatever. Same thing, took a little heat again. But each time this thing is paid anywhere from, 1,500 to today, 5,000 traded, from 40 back to 35. So that's a lot of, I mean, all you have to do, if you've just sold the top end of the range 3 times this week, you probably made $6,000-$7,000 conservatively, not picking tops and bottoms, just taking a chunk out of that move from 40,000. Cause we went from 40 to, where did we go? 36 and a half. So you covered it at 37 and a half. You made 2,500. Sell at 40 again the next day. Cover somewhere in the middle here. Make 1,700. So you're up to 42. Sell 40. Cover it at 36, not at 35. You cover it at 36. So 4. There's your trade. You just made $8,000 and 3 easy, Bitcoin micro futures trades. It's a great way to trade it.
A great way to trade it.
And again, Bob, you're saying, if you just trade one micro, you're making on that $8,000.
$100 1,000.
200.
100, I believe.
100.
I've been wrong most of my life, but I think it's $100 for $1,000.
Okay, so just trading one micro, you made $800 this week without really very little risk. Very little risk.
And that's, again, the liquidity is there on the micro. The tax situation is beneficial, and you're not going to have the government sniffing up your ass around.
You don't have to fucking keep keychains and passwords and all the whatever magic 8 ball to open it up, all that stuff that you have to do with crypto. I mean, forget about it.
All right, Matt, I want to share a chart here because wearing the hog hat, pigs fly here. A lot of trading that goes on in the hog market is spread driven. And I want to share this spread chart in the hogs. And this is the August OCK calendar spread. And it is absolutely on the frickin' moon. This spread generally trades for most years, between $4 and $7, right? It's at 20. August is $21 over OCK. It is so blown out. It's like the GameStop or the AMC chart,
which we'll talk about again.
Which we will talk about in a second. But I just wanted to point this out because at some point when this thing starts showing some weakness, this is going to be a great trade for me. I don't know what it's going to be for you, but I will be jumping on this trade to see some reversion. And it wasn't dissimilar, Matt, when I was talking about this chart. The June, July here, where the June was $3 over, and I'm like, it's a month apart. That's a ridiculous valuation over. Not only did this thing come back to earth, but it fully went back the other way. July $2 over June. So a lot of people trade hogs specifically on a calendar spread basis. There's better margin available, and that always means that you can put more on. And that always means that you can get in more trouble trading it. But I wanted to bring it up that keep your eyes on this August OCK hog calendar spread, because when this thing rolls over and shows some weakness, I'm jumping on it because there's a whole lot of room for it to retrace.
Yeah, that's a big one for sure.
All right, man, let's talk AMC because we talked about it yesterday, and I cannot believe that we talked about that old value range, right, from 2013 to 18, and they covered it basically this morning on the open.
Well, here's again, and I kind of expected the test of the all-time high, and we got it. So here, let's start right there. Let's start with the weekly chart. We actually opened at the high pre-market and tested it again, came back to 36s and then just tumbled right over. But I'll get to the short-term chart. But that was the high back here in 2015-ish. So Bob, this thing, I mean, again, the market cap is still 11.5 billion, yet nobody's going to the movies. We kind of, hit it from a macro fundamental perspective, makes no sense at all. It's a it's a trading vehicle again, nothing but a trading vehicle. And if you're dreaming that it's going to go to 100, you're fucking out of your mind. You're fucking out of your mind. So,
well, finally, some big volume showed up too. I mean, that's the other thing.
Again, the volume. Well, let me pull back a little bit because not really, Bob. This is the thing. We talked about this yesterday, but the volume is not what it was when it spiked the last time. It's not even half. So I disagree with you. It's not even to this level that we saw, or maybe to the level on the second bounce. So it's just getting lower and lower, which means it's going to get crushed harder and harder because it's not going to trade 600.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on. It's not going to trade 600 million shares like it did yesterday, and it's already done 500 million in an hour and a half, 2.5 hours today on a holiday Friday. It's everybody's favorite plaything today, right? And the open blow off is right here. We literally peaked on the open of the market. They took it up overnight. They tried again one more time, and they tried one more time here to get it going, and there was nobody left to buy it. All the options guys are like, I'm puking, I'm selling stock, I'm selling my options. Like all the orders came in at once. It's not market, there's no fundamentals in this thing. And this thing is going to go back to, it might be 20 today. I said 25 and Javi was like, no way, it's going to 45. I'm like, all right, I'll take even money bet. That thing's coming down and it's trending down. It's just ugly. It's ugly. I mean, look at this thing. It's in this hole right in here. We'll trade 23 today for sure. And we'll get held up 22 to 23, and then maybe next week we'll work back to 19, and then beyond that, turn the lights out. There's things got more to go. I mean, this is the thing. We're going to trade back to 13 in a week or two. So enjoy it while it lasts. We're not going to 100, and the same and you can see the same action came in on GameStop and. So these are a package deal apparently now. When one runs the other.
Yeah, everybody's playing
before GameStop was the dog, and now it's the tail. So it's following AMC. It peaked right on the open again at 269 and is down $35. Bob, that's 13% from the open. So again, that is illiquid. That is not big money. That is the little guys getting schmeezed. Run for the hills. Thanks for playing. I love the short today. Thank you.
Right on. Guaranteed probably. I told you I was watching a little Portnoy early this morning, and I tweeted to him, do you ever play the don't? Because it seems to me you have a dynamic now where the professional traders, and sometimes they get carried out playing the don't, but you got a whole lot of people that are green or blue side. Where's a trading card? It's been so long, I don't even know which side is which anymore. Blue side, buyer side. Orange side, sell side. They only have a blue card. In fact, you turn it over and it says buy also. Their trading cards are buy. That's all they can do. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to short. And I think that's a bigger part of the story. There it is. I got two clean ones. I have notes from 2013 here in my pocket. So now you know that, their trading cards are this. Buy, turn it over, buy. A professional has this side to it. A sell side, seller.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit.
Seller,
when you turn,
buyer.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about starting in commodities.
What if you're colorblind in the pit?
Well, it says buyer or seller on the top.
What if you
By
can't
the
read?
way, the greatest wallet ever
What if
made.
you're dyslexic?
Right
You're again, Bob. You're a bigot and you're a racist.
Please add some more to my acronyms. I love them. Now you fucking made me lose my chain of thought, you prick. I don't know where I got some timers now. Oh, I know what I was thinking. As I came into the trading markets, right? I came into commodities, and we used to say most commodity traders are natural sellers. Like naturally, like what? I don't have to own it and I can sell it. Sold. There's a lot of don't streaks in amongst commodity trading and commodity traders. Like I'll take the other thing. You want to buy it? Fine, sold. What are you doing now?
Right.
But there's not that dynamic in this trade setup with games. Yeah, I mean all these Reddit bros and all these guys. For me, the big stack always, I'll take the odds on the big stack long term all the time.
Yeah. Right.
And that's, I think, what we're seeing. And
well, and again, the lack of volume, the lack of liquidity should be a warning sign. And if you're holding for 100, you AMC bras, definitely take your 4 bras that bought at 36 this morning and go to the movies this weekend because you're going to need help.
Speaking of the movies, Matt, I finally saw the episode with Westbrook, and I will continue to say the NBA is the softest league on the planet. There was a box of popcorn, not even a whole thing of popcorn. Like nobody's dumping a whole thing. Well, maybe somebody would. In Chicago, you would for sure. Dump a beer on an outfielder. I mean, whatever you can do to help the cause. But the popcorn got dumped, and literally 4 popcorn, and not even the kernels. I mean, they were popped corn. Air, 4 pieces of air hit him, right? And you'd have thought by his reaction that it was something much different than that. Like, give me a freaking break. You get hit by a couple kernels of popped corn. You know what? The world is
and you can travel too. So
Euro step me away.
Yep.
NBA is dead.
It's what was I going to say about that? It really is. I mean, I really have so little interest in the NBA. And I'll say this also, Bob. I tried to watch the Canadians Leafs game last night. I turned it on. The Canadians were up 3-1. Apparently they were up 3-0. And the Toronto came back in the third or they scored 3 unanswered. So it was 3-0, 3-1. And it was at I believe it was at Toronto. I'm not even sure at this point because there's no fans. I don't know where it was.
It's all you know is that Rogers Vision is getting advertising on the.
Dude, it was so painful. I'm like, the crowd would be going nuts because these guys hate each other. I mean, this is what is it? The Yankees? Who's their
Yankees Red Sox? Yeah,
it's the fucking Yankees Red Sox. They hate each other. There would have been 20% of the fans would have been Canadians fans, and nobody was there. They were canning in the sound noise. It was off. I'm like, ugh. God, they should be discharged from even. They're out of the Stanley Cup. No fans, no go.
Oh my word!
It's so painful, Bob. And I mean, what happens if it's a Toronto Calgary final? I don't even know if Calgary's in the playoffs. But,
no, they're not. No.
But my point is, nobody's going to watch it. I mean,
Canada. What happened to you, Canada? Let's talk Canadian dollar because that's about the only bright thing going on in Canada. And another one that we just can't seem to, I can't explain it. Why it's done so well, Matt. But for now, for sure, this is the daily. And for me, you got one of your brackets here, right? 82 to 83, 30, 130 points here when we break out where they retrace down. It's pretty straightforward. But when I fractal out to the weekly, like, I don't know what is going on here. Why is this thing so parabolic? Because that's exactly what it looks. And then when you fractal out to the monthly, I mean, it's been respecting this momentum line for now probably 6 or 7, 8 weeks now. And the monthly's even clearer. It's just, it looks to me like it wants to go trade into the mid 90s before. I mean, these two lows here, 93 cents, 92 cents, call it. I can't explain it. I can't explain the fundamentals around it. but it sure looks healthy to me, the Canadian dollar. The only thing out of Canada looking healthy to me right now. Anyway, I diverge.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I was just looking at a short-term chart of it. Again, I'm disinterested in it, but that's if that's what you want,
You're disinterested in Matt, but this is important because you don't have a horse in the race, so you have a very honest opinion on just the chart. If it was coconuts, you'd have the same opinion.
So here's the last weekish on the Canadian dollar, and we're just stuck in a bracket, like you said, to your bracket point. I'll go out to a little shorter term month. To me, it kind of, again, very much bracketology here, and unless we get over 83 and a quarter or get below whatever this level is, it's hard for me to do anything but play ping pong. So I'd sell the top, buy the bottom, or close to either of those. But until this resolves itself, 81.9 to 83 and a quarter, again, we're just kind of in balance for the short term for the month. So if you're not in it, that would be your guide to sell the top, buy the bottom, or any manner in between, right? But these moves aren't too exciting, so it's just not.
You know what though, Matt? Highly leveraged, everything's exciting.
Size up, baby. Size the hell up.
You trade the bigs, that's that you can get excitement going pretty quickly.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much. What happened to the Doge narrative? Everybody kind of lost their marbles after the thing got cut in half from 75 to 31. Nobody's talking about it anymore.
No, listen, Matt, we used to say in the pit, public humiliation, private apology. And I think that's what goes on in trading these things, like public euphoria when it's rallying and everybody is up, paper money, because if you don't take the money, you're never able to spend the money, right? Yeah, so if you were a 5 or 6 cent owner of Dogecoin and you watched it go to 75 cents and you didn't do anything, you're still hodling.
You still got a 5-bagger.
You can still get 6x if you sell them at 30.
Right. Take it.
Anyway. Yeah. Private apology, Matt, a private apology. And anybody that had a big win here is not coming out and saying, I forgot to get out. What do I do now?
Right. DoorDash finally found a bottom. I thought I'd just talk about that. It basically opened up, went public, traded, what was the high? 256, and then all the way down to just about 100, Bob. So that didn't take long for reality to strike there. And now it's coming off the bottom. So now you got a bottom to work with finally. This is kind of how I like to look at these IPOs. Now you have a bottom. Is it going to get over this, this next level of 165? That's a key level. And I'll just throw it out there since we're coming into the holiday weekend where people are lazing around. If they're not barbecuing, I guess they're door dashing their food in from the burger. And today's National Burger Day, right? Isn't that
National Burger Day, Matt, and the start of Memorial Day weekend where Wall Street goes to the Hamptons and Main Street goes to the Hampton Inn. I saw that one. Never a dull moment here at Market Vitals, where we regurgitate the oldest of humor available. Anyway.
So that one's had a nice little bump, 50% rally, which is, again, not insignificant after they had their earnings here in the middle part of May. So congratulations to the bottom holders, because they did catch that one. We got a 50% move on DoorDash just about. So congratulations.
All right, Matt, I'm going to head over to the Hampton Inn and get over to the pool.
Jump in the pool.
Hang out at the pool. Enjoy a burger on National Burger Day. Anyway, listen, please visit us at marketvitals.io. Please share. You know what, Matt, we're going to try it. Please don't share the broadcast. Don't retweet it. Just like it. That's all we want is likes. We don't want any retweeting or sharing. And we'll see how that goes. The metric of spreading the good news of trading integrity, Matt, all around honesty of risk and reward. Where is fucking one of the Twinkle twins now? Well, he tweeted yesterday.
Three times at 40,000. 3 times.
40,000, next stop 50,000.
Well,
where's this like, you know what? That wasn't completely correct. So keep hodling and I'll let you know what I'm going to think next.
And eventually he'll get his 50,000.
I got to tell you, the greatest thing ever is now that with the micros, now the don'ts available for the nickel slot player, right? I mean, so people that understand the with and against money, it was true when they first launched the big contract that marked the top, and it's pretty close to the top this time launching the micro.
It may be.
Unreal. That's CME. That's the fucking crypto killer.
They're the cooler. They are the cooler.
Oh, all right, man. Fantastic episode. Cooler. Again, as usual, we deliver truth, man. Honesty has no sponsor, man. Honesty has no sponsor, but we are looking for sponsors here at marketvitals.io. If you want your brand to be associated with honesty and integrity, I'm not saying that that's going to be connected with the cleanest language, right? Available, but honesty and integrity is the swing back that's coming, Matt, because there's been so much narrative that's just pushing agendas that have nothing to do with honesty. That's all I got, Matt. Happy Memorial Day. And, seriously, a happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. And my sincere gratitude towards everybody that served and everybody that's, family members that have been lost to defend and promote the idea of liberty that this nation represents.
And to the republic for which it stands.
To the fucking republic, man. It's the worst. It's the best of the worst system out there. As far as it's still the best of the worst. Anyway, Matt, you have a great weekend.
Thanks, Bobby. You too.